Dirty. I love Ridin Durty radio. Like that, once again, it's on. And just like that, once again, it's on. What's up, world? It's your boy, Vic XL, and this is the world-renowned Ridin Durty Show, and we come to you each and every week at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, giving you the best in beats, rhymes, hip-hop, and everyday talk. We give you what's next, but we give it to you right now. That's right. We got our hands on the pulse of this music scene, hands on the pulse of this community, and we're definitely doing what it takes to bring it to you first. All right, before we get into things, I want to let you know this show that you are listening to or watching is brought to you live and brought to you each and every episode via the good people over at drjuicecleanse.com. That's right. Dr. Juice Cleanse is an all-natural cleanser. And you know what Dr. Juice Cleanse tells you? If you want to lose 25 pounds in just 10 days, all you have to do is follow their very, very easy steps. You got to be true to it, though. You can't be cheating. Follow the easy steps and you can lose 25 pounds in just a matter of 10 days. Now, you tell me, who would not like to lose 20, even if you're skinny? After Thanksgiving weekend, 4th of July weekend, after a holiday, you're going to gain some weight and you want to lose some weight, Dr. Juice Cleanse is the product for you. But not only will it help you lose those unnecessary pounds, it can help provide stress relief. It won't pay your bills or nothing. It won't stop the bill collectors from calling, but it can provide stress relief. Also, it can slow down the aging process. That's right. You won't be looking 60 when you're 50 if you're drinking Dr. Juice Cleanse. It also provides healthy colon enhancement. It removes toxins and all kind of crap out your body. I'm telling you, Dr. Juice, you know what? Watch this. Gotta give me a sip right now. Because Dr. Juice Cleanse is man, I'm telling you. It works very, very well for me. Makes me feel great. I work multiple jobs, doing multiple things, and not only does it the wonderful things I'm telling you to do, it also helps keep me from being tired. Because I only get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day. So Dr. Juice Cleanse is the one for me. So if you log on to www.drjuicecleanse.com, you tell them the good people at the Ridin Durty Show sent you, especially mention that boy VKXL, and they might just give you a little small discount of some sort for you to try their product. If not, just try you some, man. Do what's best for your body. As I like to say, change the oil in your body. Okay? Okay. All right. Celebrity birthdays. Let me give it to you real quick. I want to say happy birthday to Wu-Tang Clan member Capadonna. That's right. Wu-Tang Clan member Capadonna turns 48 years old today. I did not realize he was that old. Also, happy birthday to my man Exhibit. Exhibit is a West Coast rapper. You can also see him now. He has a recurring role on the show Empire. Happy birthday to him. He turns 43 years old today. I also would like to say happy birthday to Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. She turns 46 and she wears that 46 very, very well. Also, happy birthday to former presidential candidate Mr. Ben Carson. He turns 66 today. Also, happy birthday to the daughter of Reverend Run, Angela Simmons. She turns 30. A lot of y'all might be like me. Y'all watched her grow up on Run's house, man. But she's 30 years old today, definitely doing her thing. Also, happy birthday to one of the Braxton sisters. To Wanda Braxton turns 44 today. NBA basketball player Serge Ibaka turns 28 years old today. Also, to one of my favorite entertainers, happy birthday to New Edition member, Belle Biv DeVoe member, Ricky Bell. He turns 50 years old today. My man Ricky Bell is the nifty 50. Happy birthday to him. And also, happy birthday to my man Decatur Biggs, representing Decatur, Georgia. He's an Atlanta producer. Definitely got that heat for you. If you're out there and you need some beats, make sure you log on to my Facebook page, Victor Vic XL Walker. Find my man Decatur Biggs, wish him a happy birthday, and better yet, get you some of those beats. Alright? Alright, now, I want to say real quick, a lot of times, a lot of our entertainers and people, we do a lot of things, I think, for attention. I want to say big props and salute to my man Nick Cannon. He just joined in the protest with the activists out in St. Louis protesting the acquittal of police officer Jason Stokely. Alright? Also, I want to say congratulations to my man Zaytoven. He just signed a joint venture deal with Motown Records to launch his record label Familiar Territory Records. And he's looking for artists, but right now the first artist coming off the label will be his own solo project. So congratulations to my man Zaytoven for joining up with Motown, and also big shouts out to my man Nick Cannon for getting out there on the front line and not just tweeting about it, but being about it. Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know, like I say, we bring you what's next now, and I'm very proud to say, because I don't have a chance to get a lot of female singers on the show, and when I do, I'm always overwhelmed. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to welcome to the Ridin Durty Show, Miss Jayna Blackwell. How you doing today, man?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
You sound like you have a big radiant smile on your face. I can hear it through the phone.
I'm always smiling. You know, this is a blessing for me as well.
All right, I want to start this thing off by asking you, where are you from and where did you get your start in music?
Well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I currently live in Oakland, California. I started singing in church. I have that typical church girl upbringing, you know. So as a little girl, I started singing in the little baby choir, and then I moved on to the youth and young adult choir and whatnot, and then I started singing professionally outside of the church. I had one of those weird encounters with karaoke DJ. And my first time singing karaoke, and he like latched on to me, followed me around the club, and was like, you know, what you doing? Where you at? You need to sing professionally, and blah blah blah. And so that's kind of how it happened. It just was one of those things I couldn't run away from, you know.
All right. You said weird encounter. Weird encounter. That does sound weird if he's following around the club, karaoke wise. Was that person influential at all in getting you to that next level?
Definitely. I think what it was is what I meant by weird encounters, because, you know, karaoke, there's a kind of a negative stigma, you know, around people that go out and sing karaoke or whatnot. And, you know, I wasn't looking for a deal or looking for an opportunity to front a band or anything. It's just one of those things that, you know, in my music world, things just tend to happen in that way. Things just have been dropping in my lap. And, you know, when you accept those things and you realize, you know, that this is something that's bigger than you, then the whole picture, if you will, has been painted.
All right, from that, what experiences you have singing in the church that you have actually applied, or what fundamentals from singing in the church that you applied in your career now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is knowing that, you know, this music thing is a gift, and, you know, we all have a gift, and sometimes it takes us a lifetime to figure out what that gift is. But I've developed a love of singing, a love of music at an early age, and I think the biggest thing is it helped me learn how to sing in front of people and be comfortable in doing that, you know.
All right. At what point, because I used to sing in the church choir. I was horrible, but I did sing in the church choir, and I did realize that I unwrapped the wrong gift because that wasn't my gift. At what point did you realize, like, you know what? I've really been anointed with a gift. Like, I'm not just singing. It's not just, sounds coming out of my mouth. These are sounds that can change people's lives, that can touch people. At what point did you realize, like, look, I have a gift and I need to pursue this thing?
Well, I think that, once I finally listened to everyone around me, my friends, my family, everyone was pushing me to sing. And, it was one of those things where I was really extremely shy as a little girl. And I didn't want to let people know that I really had this desire. But that first time that I took the stage at a club, and I could feel the connection. I don't know how to describe that. There was this energy exchange, I think, that you feel as a performer on stage. Once you feel like you've connected with the audience, I was hooked, And so after that, I just wanted to keep doing it,
Man, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. So I have to ask, being that your career started off in the church, where did the moniker Mistress of Soul come from?
Okay, so a friend of mine, we were joking around one day, and he said, "Well, you gotta have another name, and I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, like the Queen of Soul, or there's always like this tagline, and so we were going back and forth, joking with each other. He goes, "Well, you could be the Queen of Soul, you're a queen," and I was like, "No. We can't touch that, we could get that one thrown up, and so we were teasing back and forth, and, he came up with the Mistress of Soul, and I was like, some people might consider that in a negative way, and he goes, no, this is your time, and, every mistress has her day, and I think that, and that is where we came up with this concept, because he was like, it's your time, look, all these things are happening for you, so,
Okay, no, I definitely get it. Tell the people, because I noticed when I was, doing my research on you, that you also have had extensive work with bands and performing in front of live, performing with live instrumentation. What's that experience like? And tell me the differences as far as performing with live bands as opposed to recording in the studio.
Okay. Well, I absolutely love singing in front of a band. I think that is where I've discovered myself. All the time that I was performing, I started off singing background, but, when I stepped out into the front with my first band, ThrillTrain, they basically just let me sing everything. I was singing rock and roll, blues, R&B, everything that was presented toward in front of me, I kind of, attempted to put my own voice to it. And it was during those years that I actually found my voice. And, the recording artist in me came along as a fluke. I met Kenneth Christian, who is a feature on the track that we're pushing, but he's also the CEO of Currency Kings Entertainment. He's also written the music. And, he was the one that actually, literally drugged me into the studio. He goes, what are you going to do? Sing other people's music all your life, or are you going to leave some type of legacy in this thing, And so that first experience, again, I was hooked. I loved it. I think that, that is where the creation of the music lies, and then to be able to perform that music that you created live on stage in front of a band, those feelings that is where I live, I hope you understand.
I definitely.
It's like I come along,
I understand.
On stage.
What do you prefer more? Being in front of the people, touching the people, or creating the music?
Well, I love the whole experience. I think that whole experience is what makes it happen for me. Right now I can say that I'm itching to go back into the studio. But after we create this new baby, you know, to be able to perform that live and see people get it, you know what I mean? To see people get what we basically felt and created in the studio that's like the cherry on top, you know?
You know it. You definitely know it. Who are some of your influences in the game? Like, who are some of the people that you look up to that help you stay sharp? You know, they say metal sharpens metal. Who are some of the people that when you listen to their music, that make you stay sharp?
Well, you know, there was a time in my life where I really wanted to be like Aretha Franklin or Shaka Khan. You know, my favorite, Patrice Rushen and Faith Evans and Mary J. You know, those people were my influences, if you will. You know, and I tried to sing like all of them, but, you know, at the end of the day, I've taken some from them, but I actually can say that I found my own voice. And but I listen to their music all the time. You know, it brings back those memories. It helps me stay sharp, if you will, like you say. I love music, so I've been fortunate enough to be exposed to different genres of music because of my upbringing and whatnot. And this whole experience here has been a huge blessing.
All right. I also noticed that you received recognition and awards for Best Neo Soul Artist in the Bay Area. Explain to the people, because I remember at one point in time, Neo Soul just bust onto the scene and killed it. You had artists like Jill Scott, Angie Stone, Erykah Badu, Bilal, Chico DeBarge even done a Neo Soul album. It's like for a while there, Neo Soul was the movement, and it seems like it has somewhat died down. Number one, what do you think? Yeah. What do you think made? Because I love Neo Soul. To me, Neo Soul reminds me of rhythmatic hip hop. It seems like the people are really coming from an inner place. But it seemed like it had a place on the radio. Then it seemed like it not disappeared, but wasn't so mainstream. What do you feel like caused that, and what do you fit in that genre? Like, do you consider yourself a Neo Soul artist, or are you R&B? Or that's actually two questions. Okay.
Well, basically, I consider myself as a soulful R&B artist. And I think that, you know, that encompasses, you know, that old school R&B sound and also the new soul or neo soul, if you will. You know, being named, you know, the best neo soul performer at the time was huge for me. It was a time where, you know, like I said, I was discovering my voice. And, you know, which was the biggest thing is that I was being recognized by my peers here in the Bay. And so that was a big move for me. The whole neo soul movement has its place, or had its place, but I think now is the time that, you know, we need to get back to that soulful R&B that's missing. You know, you turn on your radio and it so has gone away from our roots that, you know, we need to bring some of that back, you know, for healing purposes, if you will, you know.
I definitely agree, and I don't know, you know, sometimes mainstream radio confuses the hell out of me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But we need definitely more neo soul, because I feel like it really spoke to people. And a lot of older people gravitated from hip hop onto neo soul.
Yes. I agree. And I think it's that combination of hip hop and soul music. You know, those of us that saw that metamorphosis, if you will, you know, like you mentioned, the Music Soul Child and the Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, you know, that time when they came onto the scene, it was like, wow, you know, everybody was like, where did that come from? You know, and we wanted to embrace it and love it, and we still do. And I think that, you know, those of us that do love the music, you know, we're at a point where we turn on our radios or we see, you know, certain things going on television, and we're like, where is the music? Where, unfortunately, I think the business of music has taken over our radio stations. And, I would love to get back, and I think we at C-Town Records and also Currency Kings Entertainment, we want to focus on that movement back to the soulful R&B, back to the feelings in music,
Yes, yes. Tell me how important is it, because you mentioned C-Town Records, you mentioned Currency Kings Entertainment. Tell me and tell the people, because I have a lot of artists who listen to this show, we listen to the playbacks on all our streaming platforms. Tell the people who are listening how important it is for your career to have the proper team behind you in pushing your music.
Wow, I can say right now, in my experience, the biggest thing is you need people that, first of all, love the music that they're pushing. You need people that are your fans first to work with you. I've been fortunate enough to have people that support the music, but also, they support me in this quest and enjoy the music just as much as I do. The biggest thing is we all know that we never get here by ourselves. We have people behind us, people that are working on the project on our behalf, promotions teams, sweet teams, and whatnot. The list just can go on and on. But no individual gets anywhere by themselves. And, I have a lot of people that I need to thank or that are in support of this Jayna Blackwell movement, if you will.
All right. You have a record that you're pushing that I'm going to get to the record in a few seconds. But I do have to ask this question. In hip-hop today, and, a lot of people say hip-hop, R&B, is for the younger generation. How do you feel as far as sex goes in music? Because when I listen to a lot of R&B today, I feel like I'm having a sex lesson. Nothing about love, a sex lesson. I remember when I used to hear, matter of fact, there's a song now, I'm not really dogging them out, but there's a song about R&B artist named Jacquees. And the song says, I know you want love, but I just want to chill, whatever. But bottom line, how do you feel like the messages in our music today, whether it's R&B or hip hop, especially for the youth when it comes to sex?
The one thing I can say about that is, everything has its place and time. And like I said before, unfortunately, the business of music has taken over our airwaves. And, some of the music that, my children even have been listening to, I would have to break down for them. Okay, yeah, you like the beat, it's infectious, okay, but listen to those words. Is that something you want to be dancing to? And, thinking when you get to be my age or whatnot, that's going to be your classics or whatever. I have issues around certain types of music, but I think that, at the end of the day, we all have choices, and that's why I think that it's a big time. It's time, and, like someone told me, you got to be patient, I think this right now, it's time for us to get back to our roots. With everything that's going on with politics, with everything that's going on in the world today, I think that we need to get back to what made, especially for people that are in our generation, that we need to get back to, the love of music, the origin, you know what I mean, and hopefully make sure that we leave this legacy for our younger generations to follow through.
All right. Now, have to ask you this before we get to this music. As an artist, and I feel like artists or our artists out here today are more influential than our school teachers. How important do you feel, or will we hear any type of stances in your music when it comes to social issues?
Mm-hmm. I feel very deeply about a lot of social issues, and you will hear some of that in the music, of course. I think that the biggest thing, that I can say as an artist, Jayna Blackwell, is that, the reason why I'm doing this, the reason why I'm out here putting myself out here like this is, number one, I have children. Number two, I want to show them what hard work and dedication can do with anything that you set out to do, whether it be to follow your passion, whether it be on a job, whatever makes you tick. This is what makes me tick. And I can say this, that I have turned down projects because of certain language and whatnot, because I didn't want my children to turn on the radio or find me on YouTube and hear me talking about, you know, negative things about women or sex or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. So, but that is my choice as an artist. And, you know, I'm not going to get on a bandwagon and say, you must do this or you know. There's a time and place. I'm in my own lane. Those people are in their lane, and, you know, I can't knock their hustle. The only thing I can do is be me.
All right, great answer, great answer. Real quick, tell me about the single.
Yes, that's my song. It features Kenyon, like I said before. He wrote the track. He's also the CEO of Currency Kings Entertainment. You know, it goes right along with what we've been talking about, how we wanted to bring certain things back to the radio. Of course, it's a dance track. It has an infectious hook. And, you know, one day we were sitting down having lunch at the Water, and he presented this track to me, and he goes, you know, you like that beat? And I was like, yeah, I'm loving it. I love that beat. You know, he wrote the hook in like 20 minutes. And he goes, so I'm like, yeah, that's nice, but what are we going to call it? You know, he goes, I got it. That's my song. And I'm like, yeah, it's my song too. I love it. You know, so we went back and forth for a few minutes like that. Who's going first kind of thing, you know, and so finally I got it, you know, like, it's that old school way, you know, yeah, that's my song right there, you know, and so that's how it came about, you know. Of course, we had lots of fun doing it in the studio, and, you know, it's just one of those things where we were just having fun making it.
All right. Let the people know real quick before we get to this record how they can find you on social media. I just told everybody in the Facebook Live they need to get familiar with you, but make sure you let us know how to find you, whether it's SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes. Drop the info right now for everybody can check you out.
Okay, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Jayna Sings 2, that's JaynaSings 2. And also you can find links to the music on the website at ctownrecords.com.
All right, real quick, is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yes, I would love, thank you so much. I would love to say thank you to Christian Adams. He did the final mix, engineer that did that on the track. Gregory Beasley of Motown Records, Kenneth Christian of Currency Kings Entertainment, Orlando Johnson, Luigi of Legacy Studios, Soundwave Studios, my family. And also, you know, the biggest thing I always get to say is I never thought I would be able to say this.
90 seconds.
Fans across the world, your love and support means everything to me. It is the motivation to keep pushing.
All right, then I have one request for you. I want to put you on the spot. I have a listener who has listened for, I've been doing radio for over 15 years, and this listener has been one of the most driving forces in me doing what I do. She always supports, and today is her birthday. Her name is Extra. Could you give her a little rendition by Miss Jayna Blackwell of Happy Birthday, please?
Yes, and can you repeat her name for me, please?
We just call her Extra because she's extra everything. Extra loving, extra caring, extra. We just call her Extra.
That's what's up. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Extra. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much and continued success. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are tuned in to the Ridin Durty Show. And this is That's My Song by Mrs. Jayna Blackwell. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you hear that train? shots of green VIP, going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe, keep them haters outside. I'm headed out the door, yes, I'm feeling my spell. Calling up my girls, cause I'm headed to the nightlife. Work, no play, take heed, better listen. Get that money, don't let it make you. I know what's up, can't play them games. He's choosing, but I'll pass. Been there, done that, so I'm not surprised with the top one in my class. Don't hold your breath, cause you might turn blue trying to wait on something big. Have a backup plan to ensure yourself so you know just what to do. The club is jumping right, it's packed on a Thursday night. DJ's playing my song, I'm feeling good, turn it up tonight. When you hear that playing, that's my song. The crowd is jumping, yes it's on. In the club, a couple shots of green VIPs, going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe, keep them haters outside.
Hold up, wait a minute, that's my song. It's two-step to the right, one slide to the left. I think I got it, let me show them how to get it in. Much older now, knees stiff, hard to bend. Flow proud, little mama try to back it in. Drink in the hand, think it's a shot of hand. Hot with the bug, kiss him off Patron again. Stick it with a two-step and nothing else is
When
gonna
you
get.
hear that playing, that's my song. The crowd is jumping, yes it's on. I'm gonna get it, show 'em how to do it right. Up in the club, a couple shots of green VIPs, going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe, keep them haters outside. I'm in my cool, what's up, let's ride. Headed to the after party, night's not over yet. Been beat on one, hanging on my coattail. Ain't got time to the line for another one. Miss me with that drama, I'm straight cool, letting my head down. Don't take it wrong, don't disrespect, it's good, trying to have a good time. Taking pictures, having fun, good combo. With my girl, so I'm not running solo. My mind is on my money, and my money's on my mind. The club is jumping right, it's packed on a Thursday night. DJ's playing my song, I'm feeling good, turn it up tonight. When you hear that playing, that's my song. The crowd is jumping, yes it's on. I'm gonna get it, show 'em how to do it right. Up in the club, a couple shots of green VIPs, going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, this vibe, keep them haters outside. When you hear that playing, that's my song. The crowd is jumping, yes it's on. I'm gonna get it, show 'em how to do it right. Up in the club, a couple shots of green VIPs, going down with Patron. I'm feeling good, loving this vibe, keep them haters outside.
Hold on, let's get it out, y'all. Oh, oh, oh.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Man, one time for Miss Jayna Blackwell, we through taping. I still got y'all Facebook Live. I'm here, Bobby. I'm out of here. Hey, y'all do me a favor before I go. Make sure y'all follow me. Instagram and Twitter, Ridin Durty Radio. Y'all make sure y'all check out the replays of the show over on WRFG every Tuesday night, Thursday morning, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Y'all also make sure y'all follow us on all our streaming networks. That's right. SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Spreaker, and Blog Talk Radio. That's right. Make sure if you didn't catch the show live, then you go check out the streaming. Because it's there for you, man. And it's absolutely free. One time for C-Town Records, one time for Currency Kings, one time for yourselves. Loves yourselves, one time for loves. My English is horrible. Love yourself, one time for Miss Jayna Blackwell. You're going to the top, mama. That's a great song. It made me feel good. I'm in here sweating. I'm up out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Ridin Durty. And it's on. But we gone.